Russia this month, but so far it's not at all clear that they'll be able to connect the dots. So joining me now is Fareed Zakaria, host of CNN's Fareed Zakaria GPS, and Alexander Vershbow. He's a former U.S. ambassador to Russia. Gentlemen, good to see both of you. You know, Fareed, the connections between the president, his campaign aides, and Russia, so far there seems to be a lot of smoke, but there is no fire. And this latest example is this, sort of connection between this bank in Russia and a Trump, computer system somehow, or a server. But is all this just noise?
You're exactly right. So far, there's mostly smoke but no fire. But we begin with a kind of intellectual puzzle, which is Donald Trump's view on foreign policy has been pretty consistent his whole life. The rest of the world is screwing America. That's the view he had in the 1980s as a real estate developer. He took out ads saying, the Europeans never pay their fair share, the Japanese are screwing us, the rest of the world humiliates us. And every book he's ever written, that's exactly the position he's taken, except with one country, which is Russia. He thinks that Germany, Britain, and France are countries that screw America and we should be tough with them. But Russia, poor Russia, is misunderstood, and if only we could get on with it better. So there's this puzzle, and I say it's really about one country. Then you have this series of contacts with this one country. You do not have an equivalent set of contacts that Trump campaign officials, friends have had with China, with Germany, so again you have this puzzle of a country with which he has this one exceptional view, with whom the campaign has had a series of unusual, perhaps even unique contacts. And as you say, maybe it's all smoke, but it shows a lot of smoke.
But Ambassador, does Fareed have a point here? Because you can't show the type of connections or as many contacts with other countries. If you look at the contacts of people associated with President Trump have had through the course of the campaign, does that seem like an unusual amount of contact to you, or does that seem normal?
Well, it does seem like a lot of contacts, but we really, at this point, have no idea that anything particularly nefarious took place in these contacts. I am more concerned about what Fareed was just talking about, which is the peculiar fondness for Russia and treatment of Russia as like the only good guy among all these horrible players in the world that are doing us in. And so I'm more suspicious about where is the Trump administration going with respect to its policy towards Russia than about all these bizarre contacts and computer server connections, which we have to look into that, but I'm not convinced there's a lot of there. But particularly, the relationship has gone way downhill for one big reason. Russia has started carrying out direct military aggression against its neighbors. It's occupying parts of Ukraine. It's promoting this kind of insurgency there. And it's lying about it. It claims it doesn't even have its troops there. How do you have a normal relationship with a country that's behaving like that? So you have to tackle these kinds of problems and not sweep them under the rug.
Yeah, I've got to ask you this pretty early on.